With all of me, with all of my heart, I got to bless you. Precious Lord, with my whole
What up, everybody? This is the first time I think I ever came on a live a little bit later than usual, but I have been really looking into what's been going on, and Trump has recently struck Iran. And what I discovered is there were 3 service people who have lost their life, and all of them were Indigenous American Blacks. And that was really shocking to realize. So I want to figure out who they were. But what I want to also do is play a clip of Trump delivering a new remark in regards to Iran strikes. I think yesterday I heard he was the leader of Iran was unalived, and there were celebrations going on from different videos that I have saw. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I really don't know how to feel right at this point because I have a little bit more I need more information, I guess, as to what is really happening, but I'm not too thrilled to hear that Indigenous American Blacks are the ones that are being sacrificed in this war. I don't know if you guys have any more information to add as far as who was injured, but I kind of want to know, and I hope that you guys would do me a favor by sharing your information as far as how you view what is happening, in your opinion, if it's a good thing that is going on or not, in your opinion. Let me know. It doesn't seem as if this war was really readily necessary from, from my information that I have. But if you guys know anything else, let me know. But let me play first Trump. He did a response video about what recently has happened, and I want to get you guys' opinion from what he says. If you guys have not yet, please hit that like button. All videos that I show will be for fair use, copyrighted, under the 1976 um, copyright for criticism, for commentary, education, information, all the above, not meaning to infringe, but to inform what is going on. And there's a lot happening so quickly. I am so stunned on, I mean, I was literally just digesting his union speech just like a couple of days ago. I was going to come on live, and then I heard about Iran being bombed, and it just stopped being in my tracks from even coming on live, because I'm like, my God, I can't even get my thoughts out quick enough without him doing something extra. And I am really feeling a lot of different emotions, if you need to know. How are you doing? Acidic trauma? Is it acetic trauma? Thank you for coming, and also trying to get myself, what is that? A please button? I don't know what that. Okay, well, thank you for being here anyways. And yes, let's start now with this first clip. Please hit that like button, everybody. Please contribute to the conversation.
Over the past 36 hours, the United States and its partners have launched Operation Epic Fury, one of the largest, most complex, most overwhelming military offensives the world has ever seen. Nobody's seen anything like it. We have hit hundreds of targets in Iran, including Revolutionary Guard facilities, Iranian air defense systems. Just now it was announced that we knocked out 9 ships plus their naval building, all in a matter of literally minutes. Iran's formerly supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, is dead. This wretched and vile man had the blood of hundreds and even thousands of Americans on his hands, and was responsible for the slaughter of countless thousands of innocent people all across many countries. Last night, all over Iran, the voices of the Iranian people could be heard cheering and celebrating in the streets when his death was announced. The entire military command is gone as well, and many of them want to surrender into saving their lives. They want immunity. They're calling by the thousands. Combat operations continue at this time in full force, and they will continue until all of our objectives are achieved. We have very strong objectives. They could have done something 2 weeks ago, but they just couldn't get there. Earlier today, CENTCOM shared the news that 3 U.S. military service members have been killed in action. As one nation, we grieve for the true American patriots who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation, even as we continue the righteous mission for which they gave their lives. We pray for the full recovery of the wounded and send our immense love and eternal gratitude to the families of the fallen. And sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is. Likely be more, but we'll do everything possible where that won't be the case. But America will avenge their deaths and deliver the most punishing blow to the terrorists who have waged war against basically civilization. They have waged war against civilization itself. Our resolve, and likewise that of Israel, has never been stronger. America is now again the richest, most powerful nation in the world by far. But the only reason we enjoy the quality of life that we do and the freedom and security is we have done things that others are unable to do. But it's because of warriors who are willing to lay down their lives to do battle with our enemies. And they do battle better than anybody. An Iranian regime armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would be a dire threat to every American. We cannot allow a nation that raises terrorist armies to possess such weapons that would allow them to extort the world to their evil will. Not going to let it happen. We're not happening to us, and we're not going to let it happen to others. The United States has the strongest military the world has ever seen. I rebuilt our military in my first term. There's never been a military like we possess. And frankly, there's nobody even close, but we are now using that military for good. We want to have it for good purpose. We're undertaking this massive operation not merely to ensure security for our own time and place, but for our children and their children, just as our ancestors have done for us many, many years ago. This is the duty and the burden of a free people. These actions are right and they are necessary to ensure that Americans will never have to face a radical, bloodthirsty terrorist regime armed with nuclear weapons and lots of threats. For almost 50 years, these wicked extremists have been attacking the United States while chanting the slogan, "Death to America" or "Death to Israel" or both. They are the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. We are the world's greatest and most powerful nation, so we can do something about what they do. These intolerable threats will not continue any longer. I once again urge the Revolutionary Guard, the Iranian military, police, to lay down your arms and receive full immunity or face certain death. It will be certain death. Won't be pretty. I call upon all Iranian patriots who yearn for freedom to seize this moment, to be brave, be bold, be heroic, and take back your country. America is with you. I made a promise to you, and I fulfilled that promise. The rest will be up to you, but we'll be there to help. Thank you. God bless you to our incredible warriors, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
And again, you were just
Okay, there was his latest speech, and I was just tripping off of the fact that I just really got used to the idea that the president of Venezuela, this Nicolas Maduro, was snatched up. What, not even, how long ago? When did he get snatched up? Hold on. Because things are moving so quick. It is alarming. It is overwhelming at this point to even see how quickly, just a month ago, Venezuela President Maduro was just snatched up, literally January 6th. January 6th. So, no, wait, it's March. So, wait a minute. Well, a little bit over a month ago. And we can't even get used to that feeling of, he just went in to Venezuela and ousted a Venezuelan president without now hearing that he has actually unalived a president in Iran. And it's really big. It's a real big deal. This is involving the Middle East and is connected to Africa. I think that a lot of people in Africa are very uncertain, and a lot of other people in the Middle East are very uncertain about what's about to happen next. It's wild. I want to go now to the people that have lost their lives, because a lot of times we hear their names, but we don't look them up and we don't know who they are to appreciate the sacrifice that they gave. When I did look them up, I discovered that there were 3 American blacks, 3 indigenous American blacks, the ones that are not immigrants. They were here for centuries, and all 3 of them lost their life. I don't understand what they were doing to lose their life. I wish I had that type of information, but let me look them up and talk about them a little bit. It says the U.S. names 3 soldiers killed in Jordan attack, points finger at Iranian-backed militia. Wait a minute. This was saying January 30th. No, this is not right. This can't be right. Hold up. I might be trying to give y'all the wrong before I even go there. This might be something from another year. Hold on. Let me see. Let me put this in and get the right people involved. I don't want to give misinformation. Hold up. News. Let me see. Okay, I hope that they will name them, because what I was seeing was back in 2024, the article went back to. So let me read PBS News. This is March 1st. It says military says 3 U.S. troops killed, 5 others seriously wounded during the Iran attack. And this was done by Ben Finley, Associated Press. 3 American service members have been killed, 5 others wounded during the U.S. attack on Iran. The military announced Sunday, marking the first American casualties in a major offensive that President Donald Trump said could likely lead to more losses in the coming weeks. U.S. Central Command, which oversees the Middle East, announced that deaths in the post on X, but did not say when and where they occurred, as the Islamic Republic retaliates over the joint attacks or strikes by the U.S. and Israel. The Post says several others sustained minor shrapnel injuries and concussions and were going to return to duty. We pray for the full recovery of the wounded and send our immense love and eternal gratitude to the families of the fallen, Trump said in a video posted to his Truth Social platform on Sunday afternoon. And sadly, there will likely be more before it ends. That's the way it is. Likely be more, but we'll do everything possible where that won't be the case, quote unquote. This is what Trump said, that there is going to be likely more. In the roughly 6-minute video, Trump called those killed true American patriots who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation, even as we continue the righteous mission for which they gave their lives. He said, the U.S. will avenge their deaths. I'm trying to get to the names of the people that have fallen. That's what I want to know. Hold up. Let me see if I can find the names, because I had thought I had the names, but I don't quite. Let me see. Images. News. Okay, let me see. 3 nurse servicemen named. Let me see if I could put that in. Named. Killed. Okay, let's see if it shows. I want to know the names. So far, it looks like they are holding the names. Oh, wow. I thought it was going to be 3 Black Americans that were showcased in another video that I had found, but it was a different year. So I'm glad I caught that. So what I'm going to do is follow up and try to get the names of the people who have lost their life and have a discussion about that, because it's very, very important. Because a lot of people probably are not co-signing this war. I'm not exactly ecstatic. that this war is going on because, I mean, I don't know how close Iran is to America, but it doesn't seem like they can harm us from way over here. So if Trump is acting because of Israel, I'm not really on that tip of thought. I wouldn't want us to be in all kinds of wars forever. Wars are not ending as easily as people would like us to believe. So it's not the best thing to run up in war without having an exit strategy to get out of it, and to also not allow your service people to be unalived. So yeah, I'm gonna follow up. They're not giving the information out right now, but yeah, as soon as MSNBC or anyone from the Democratic type of media outlet, CNN and whatever, they're gonna name the names. And as soon as I know, or if you guys know, let me know. Let me see what you guys are saying. Hello to everybody. It just feels like one shit show to another at this point. It does seem really wild. I'll give you that. You ain't never lied. Because, I was going to talk about the union speech of Trump, because I thought he did a really good job. I never seen ever a union speech last more than an hour and 45 minutes. I think he went to an hour and 47 minutes total. And he really exposed the Democrats. And I want to play a segment of what he said to let us know that the Democrats are really not on our side. He said if those want to stand up to showcase that they are for American first, if you are for protecting and, helping out Americans first over the illegals, stand up, Trump had said. And do you know that the Democrats actually refused to stand up? I'm not sure if there was even one of them that stood up, but he just really showed how disrespectful the Democrats are. But what I'm seeing is that Trump will do something that really gets my mind in tune with him, and then he'll do something else that's not really in tune with me, that I'm not truly getting, like the war with Iran. I really don't get that part. But let's go back just to play a little bit for those that didn't see it, and maybe a little bit of a reminder if you did see it, so that you can hear. This just was 4 days ago. And we'll play like a little bit segment of it, and then we'll talk about it on the other side. Please hit that like button. Please share and subscribe. Let's go.
We ensure that all Americans can profit from a rising stock market. Let's also ensure that members of Congress cannot corruptly profit from using insider information. They stood up for that. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Did Nancy Pelosi stand up if she's here? Got it. Pass the Stop Insider Trading Act without delay.
Before I let this continue, I really got sidetracked. Let me make sure if this was not let me look this up. Oh, okay. No. I was right. All right. No. So I'm going to have to research these others when they do appear to see. who was unalived in the mission. So let me get back to this real quick. I'm sorry about that. I thought I had the right people and I don't. So, but hit that like button, please hit that like button.
I wasn't sure if anybody even on this side was going to applaud for that. I'm very impressed. Thank you. I'm very impressed. But when it comes to the corruption that is it's plundering America. There's been no more stunning example than Minnesota, where members of the Somali community have pillaged an estimated $19 billion from the American taxpayer. Oh, we have all the information. And in actuality, the number is much higher than that. And California, Massachusetts, Maine, and many other states are even worse. This is the kind of corruption that shreds the fabric of a nation, and we are working on it like you wouldn't believe. So tonight, although started 4 months ago, I am officially announcing the war on fraud to be led by our great Vice President, J.D. Vance. We'll get it done. And if we're able to find enough of that fraud, we will actually have a balanced budget overnight. It'll go very quickly. That's the kind of money you're talking about. We'll balance our budget. The Somali pirates who ransacked Minnesota remind us that there are large parts of the world where bribery, corruption, and lawlessness are the norm, not the exception. Importing these cultures through unrestricted immigration and open borders brings us problems right here to the USA. And it is the American people who pay the price in higher medical bills, car insurance rates, rent, taxes, and perhaps most importantly, crime. We will take care of this problem. We're going to take care of this problem. We are not playing games. Delilah Colton was only 5 years old in June 2024 when a 18-wheel tractor trailer plowed into her stopped car traveling at 60 miles an hour or more. The driver was an illegal alien let in by Joe Biden and given a commercial driver's license by open borders politicians in California. Doctors said Delilah would never be able to walk or talk, have a good life. She wouldn't even be able to eat again. But against all odds, she is now in the first grade learning to walk. And she's here this evening with her dad, Marcus, a fantastic man. Delilah, please, you are a great inspiration. Please stand up. Thank you, Delilah. Many, if not most, illegal aliens do not speak English and cannot read even the most basic road signs as to direction, speed, danger, or location. That's why tonight I'm calling on Congress to pass what we will call the Delilah Law, barring any state from granting commercial driver's licenses to illegal aliens. Yesterday, as you probably saw at the White House, I hosted a ceremony with Americans who lost their treasured loved ones to the scourge of illegal immigration, people came into our country, how we allowed this to happen with our open borders. These are the angel moms and families that for decades our government betrayed and our media totally ignored. It was terrible. Hard to believe, actually. In 2023, a 16-year-old high school cheerleader named Elizabeth Medina was supposed to perform in her town's Christmas parade, but she never arrived. Her mother, Jacqueline, went home to look for her, and she found her lying dead in a bathtub, bleeding profusely after being stabbed 25 times. Elizabeth's killer was a previously arrested illegal alien who had broken in and brutally extinguished the brightest light in her family's life, violently and viciously. Her heartbroken mother is in the gallery to remind everyone in this chamber exactly why we are deporting illegal alien criminals to our country at record numbers, and we're getting them the hell out of here fast. We don't want them. Thank you very much, Jacqueline. Thank you. We can never forget that many in this room not only allowed the border invasion to happen before I got involved, but indeed they would do it all over again if they ever had the chance. If they ever got elected, they would open up those borders to some of the worst criminals anywhere in the world. The only thing standing between Americans and a wide open border right now is President Donald J. Trump and our great Republican patriots in Congress. Thank you.
And I truly believe this part of what he said. The Democrats are really in to damage, America standing as a sovereign nation. They're against common sense principles and ideologies that have kept us afloat for 250 years, coming up in July. It's just really sad how we have the enemy within, and it's very hard to not support Trump, even if I don't understand everything that he does, because, I'm not really a proponent of picking out people to war with. I'm pretty much a proponent in taking care of business at home and worrying about your own affairs and your own people and getting rid of the dead weight of what's going on in your country and resetting and reestablishing common sense principles and pretty much, getting rid of all the fraud, getting rid of all the people that have been benefiting off of lying and stealing and killing and everything else under the sun. That's what I'm for. That's why I voted for Trump, because I thought he would be the best person that would look at what I'm looking at. But it seems to me that things now are changing slightly to be more on a global scale. And that's not what I voted for him for. I'm hoping that what he's doing, because it's already done, there ain't no turning back now, that it's going to kind of work out and make sense in the next year or two. But I do not want to see a war like Afghanistan go on indefinitely. And then when you try to pull out, you take a lot of losses and you paid a lot of money all in vain. I hope that this doesn't turn into that. That's what I don't want to see. How do you guys feel? Do you think that what Trump has done ultimately is going to be a benefit for us as Americans in America? Or do you think he is gambling with our future by doing what he's done? It's not like we have a saving grace with Democrats nonetheless. I mean, I don't see no comfort, no hope, nothing with the Democrats. So I'm kind of like stuck with Trump, because to deal with the Democrats is to basically give away America. So what the hell am I supposed to think on? The hell?
As we speak, Democrats in this chamber have cut off all funding for the.
You ain't got to listen to me though. Made to trade, you can take your bitch ass on, because I don't have to listen to you neither, okay? So take your bitch ass elsewhere. Made to trade. Trade your bitch ass elsewhere. How about that much, okay? You ain't got to be here. My opinions are my opinions. People that want to rock with me or listen to me needs to know that I'm an independent-minded Black American woman who is not impressed by the Democrats. I'm not like a MAGA supporter. I did vote for Trump this go around because I thought he was better suited for the job than Kamala, but I do have my own mind, and I'm seeing things unfold the way that they're unfolding, and I'm not feeling confident with what he's doing in Iran, to be honest. I mean, I like what he did with the Union speech. I like that he exposed the Democrats at the Union speech, which I'm about to show in a minute. But I do have second thoughts thinking about what are we doing in Iran, and is this going to continue to other things? Because first it was Nicolas Maduro, now it's the Iran leader. I mean, are we now going to head to Africa next? I mean, what are we doing? That's just my opinion. You can think whatever you want to think, but this is where I'm at. Let's go.
Department of Homeland Security. It's all cut off. It's all cut off. They have instituted another Democrat shutdown, the first one costing us 2 points on GDP. 2 points we lost on GDP, which probably made them quite happy, actually. Now they have closed the agency responsible for protecting Americans from terrorists and murders. Tonight I'm demanding the full and immediate restoration of all funding for the border security, homeland security of the United States, and also for helping people clean up their snow. We have no money because of the Democrats, and it would be nice. We'd love to give you a hand at cleaning it up, but you give no money. Nobody's getting paid. It's a shame. So you have to think about it. We have, in case you didn't know, a pretty large snowstorm out there. One of the great things about the State of the Union is how it gives Americans the chance to see clearly what their representatives really believe. So tonight I'm inviting every legislator to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens. You're not ashamed. You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people.
I gotta be honest. When I watched this, I was hoping that this Ilhan Omar was arrested then and there before they got out of session. That's what I was looking for. Man, he missed an opportunity to get that ass. That would have been cherry on top, to arrest her ass right then and there. That would have been so awesome, man. Oh, it didn't happen, but I was thinking about it the whole entire time. I was looking to see if something like that happened. But somebody that she had with her was detained or told to sit down, and they refused to sit down. And this woman has been running around talking about she's injured. And I mean, I'm pretty sure she's gonna try to take up a case to try to sue or whatever. Let me see if I can find that story real quick. Ilhan, wait a minute. Yeah, but I really wanted her to go bye-bye. Ilhan guest detained. Let me see if it shows up. But yeah, every time I turn around, she keeps popping up. I don't know why she would even want to go to a showing of Trump. Or her name is Layla Rahman, something like that. And I don't know if she's just trying to show herself to get, like I say, I think that she is trying to get attention to make a case against Trump. She keeps signaling that she is hurt and harmed and all that type of thing. But this was the person I'm talking about.
So did you guys see that Ilhan Omar's guest is facing criminal charges for disrupting the State of the Union? Look at that. She's like, but I can be here. Oops. No, you can't. Arrested. And I think it was could be 6 months in jail is what they said. Yeah, right there. Could carry up to 6 months in jail. Oh man, hope it was worth it. So did you guys see that Ilhan Omar's guest is facing criminal charges for
So I didn't know she was facing criminal charges, but I know she's been complaining that she ain't doing well. Excuse me, she's not doing well. And somehow she got arrested. Hold on, let me see what this says. Guest responds to arrest. Hold on, let me see.
Hey, yo, check this out. This DJ.
Hold on, that's a commercial. If you guys could, please hit that like button. I know it's a little bit late than usual, but I was really kind of conflicted a little with the Iranian bombing and the killing of the Iran president. Of course, I didn't see it coming, as I didn't see the president of Venezuela getting snatched up either. Man, he is on predator mode or whatever.
This is Breaking the News. I'm Janice Shortle. The State of the Union was available to watch on screens all over the country and the world last night, but something happened during the speech you probably didn't see. Aaliyah Rahman, a woman who the world was introduced to 2 months ago when video and photos of ICE forcibly taking her from her car in South Minneapolis came about, she was arrested during the State of the Union in the House chamber last night. Aaliyah was there as a guest of Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, and the U.S. Capitol Police told me they arrested her because she was demonstrating, which is prohibited, during the speech and was ordered to sit down. And when she refused, they took her out of the gallery. Aaliyah Rahman, however, has a different story. She said she was listening to President Trump's speech and stood up silently when he started talking about Somali people.
I remember standing up, watching down there, what do people think about us? And I hear this thing about, he's just complaining about the withholding of DHS funding. And then I hear, you can't stand up. I was like, what do you mean? we've all been standing up and sitting down for the whole thing. And he goes, well, you can't be the only one standing up.
Aaliyah told me she told the man telling her to sit that other people were also standing. But then she said she was taken out of the House chamber forcibly, she said, which became an issue because if you remember, she's physically disabled. She can't walk without a cane. She said she was then booked into custody by U.S. Capitol Police for unlawful conduct and disruption of Congress. She was released from jail at about 4 this morning in D.C. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar said she is asking for a full explanation about why her guest was arrested. We'll be right back.
I think it's more for sympathy. I really don't buy this woman is really the way she's claiming to be. I think she is staging the situation because she got traction dealing with the ICE, and she's capitalizing off of that story in hopes to sue Trump and his administration. That's what I think she's going to do. What's up, Texas Jan? Thank you so much for subscribing and liking the video. I really appreciate it. And what's up, Sonic Teal? Why you say Grump 2028? And yeah, she did have crazy eyes. That ain't no lie right there. She definitely had crazy eyes. But what do y'all think? Do y'all think that Trump hitting up Iran will be a benefit to Americans long term? I mean, I don't really pay attention too often with what happens in the Middle East, but I do know that there are crazy people that do follow the Islamic belief. In fact, after Iran was bombed and the president or leader was taken out, there was an incident in Austin, Texas, whereby a nationalized citizen from Africa, I think Sierra Leone or Senegal, either or, was going to a club or something of the sort, sat in his SUV and start firing, and he unalived, unfortunately, some people and injured like 14. So this is the type of stuff that I'm worried about. What other types of people that are already here among us have in store for us? They have already accessed America, and they could be staging things. And I'm kind of worried about people collaborating together or synchronizing attacks against us on the same time in the same day. Let me look this up real quick. So we had a Texas shooter, Austin shooter. Hold on. Yeah, he was a weird looking dude. And okay, here we go. Okay, his name was Indiaga Ajin. I don't know how to pronounce it, but let's listen to what they're telling us about this shooting. He killed 2 people. He killed or injured rather 14 others in a Texas bar shooting. This is what the FBI is saying. So let me play the first clip of this. And it's really sad. He wore clothing to claim that he was property of Allah. He had a Quran in his vehicle. So he was really serious about the faith of being a Muslim. And like I say, we don't know who we have among us. We don't know what these people have in store with their vitriol about these deportations, about the vitriol that they have about trying to spread Islamic belief system. Hell, we have a slew of Muslim people in New York doing their little chants and cry early in the morning, waking people up out of their sleep and doing the most. So this phenomenon, Islamic faith or Muslim faith, is kind of like clashing with American, culture. It's clashing, and, they're trying to make their presence known, and killing the Iranian president definitely is getting the attention of a lot of people that don't have their marbles together. Listen to this.
This morning, we are now learning law enforcement officials are investigating an overnight shooting as a possible act of terror. The shooting outside a bar in Austin's busy East 6th Street area left 3 people dead, 14 others injured, 3 of them in critical condition this morning. Investigators holding a news conference just moments ago.
There were indicators that on the subject and in his vehicle that indicate potential nexus to terrorism. It's still too early to make a determination on that. That's why we're investigating it very closely with our partners with Austin Police Department.
And for more on this, we're going to bring in ABC's Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas. Pierre, as we just heard there, the FBI saying that there were indicators of a possible nexus to terrorism. And this comes as we know there is an elevated threat environment and heightened security across the country.
Today, the scenario that played out is both stunning and scary. They described the suspect driving up in a large SUV, firing out the window at people on the street, then at some point parking the vehicle, exiting the vehicle, and then continuing to fire his weapon. With so many injured, as you saw, and 3 dead before being killed himself by the police. Obviously, there were things, again, to quote the FBI official, there were things on his person and in his vehicle that point to terrorism. We're in the process of digging into that, trying to find out more details about precisely what that was. But you're right. This comes at a moment when we are in a heightened alert because of the ongoing conflict, the U.S. military campaign in Iran, and U.S. officials have been concerned that there could be spin-off violence, if you will. People who are reacting to what they're seeing overseas. And again, that possibility is being investigated as we speak.
Yes, and as you said,
Now, according to the California Post, U.S. News exclusive details, this guy by the name, I'm not pronouncing it right. I'm not going to lie. I'm not African. I'm sorry. But it's spelled Ndiaga. Last name is Diagne. So I'm going to guess Diagen entered U.S. during Clinton administration. He became citizen under Obama despite string of busts, it says. It says the gunman behind the Austin's possible terror-related mass shooting entered the United States and submitted his legal immigration status under Democrat administrations. Of course he did, because the Democrats are looking to get anybody to replace Black Americans. They're looking to get anybody from anywhere to replace us and not have to worry about our votes anymore and keep us downtrodden and forever forgotten. So yes, it was, according to this, under the Democrat administrations, despite a growing criminal record. He is from Senegal. He is a Senegalese national person, Nenegi, whatever his name is, 53, arrived in America 2000 on March 13th on a B2 tourist visa. Just remember, in the year 2000, during the Clinton administration, a source familiar with his administration history told the Post on Sunday. It's reporting that he killed 2 people, but in the news clip, it just said 3 people. So either 2 or 3 people were killed and 14 others were wounded during his rampage outside a Texas bar early Sunday, then became a lawful permanent resident on an IR6 visa in June of 2006, rather. So 6 years later, he became a lawful permanent resident just that quickly. And then he even married a U.S. citizen the source said. It doesn't say if he was still married in 2026. It says that during that time he got married to a U.S. citizen. So they're very active in trying to get status in America any way that they can. A lot of them do these fraudulent marriages and they marry just to get the status of an American passport and all these other things. This man's been working the system. He's been here in America for quite some time, 26 years. And he was a sleeping cell, living among us. And he got triggered once the president of Iran got unalived. He felt obligated to show his loyalty to the Islamic faith. He went out and rocked a shirt that said that he is belonging to Allah, and he acted out. It says he had already racked up at least one arrest before that for illegal vending in 2001 in New York City, law enforcement sources said. He then went on to lodge a string of other arrests in the Big Apple between 2008 and through 2016, but that didn't stop him becoming a nationalized U.S. citizen on April 5th of 2013, around the start of the former President Barack Obama's second term. Sources says those 3 arrests are sealed. Sources said he was also arrested in Texas at some point on undisclosed charges. Sources said he was a known emotional, disturbed person in both states. 2 sources said, wow. Yeah, he has a property of Allah on. This is what he was rocking when he was caught rocking his rifle. Look at him. He's the property of Allah. Okay? So we are bringing in the threats. We're bringing these types of people that can just switch up on us at any time that they like. This guy applied for asylum in 2016, though the outcome or state purpose of that application was not immediately clear. The serial offender opened fire outside of Bufford's backyard beer garden near the University of Texas Austin campus early Sunday, killing 2 bar patrons and wounding 14 others before he was shot and killed by police. He was wearing a property of Allah hoodie at the time of the rampage and had a Quran in his car. Sources familiar with the investigation told the Post. The FBI is investigating whether he was motivated by the U.S. Israel-led campaign against Iran. Sources said he was wearing an undershirt emblazoned with the Iranian flag or other Iran-related imagery. Okay, so he was letting it be known that he is coming out the woodworks, acting crazed for the Iran people and the notion that he's a Muslim and all that kind of talk. So this is why I fear these types of people coming over here to America. We don't know them. They're not vetted. They come and whatever they did in their home country is forgotten. We don't know those instances or information to formulate a really accurate thought process about these people coming here. It's like they get a new life. They start all over again from zero. And we're looking at them like they're darlings, and they're not. And it's fucked up that we have that. What's up, y'all? Favorite nurse, how are you doing? Thank you for being here. Let me see what you guys are saying. I'm going to go back up. Thank you all for appearing and commenting in the comment section. You said he came here on Obama's watch. I heard that. Yeah, it does sound like that he did a lot during Obama's watch. Like Obama was looking out for some certain types of immigrants. He was. I understand that he was deporting some, but I think that he was allowing and opening doors for others to come over. And apparently people in Africa, because his father is Kenyan from Africa, maybe certain areas of Western Africa, he was opening up avenues and doors for them to come over here. It looks that way. You said, I'm exhausted for MAGA and feel sorry for them. The constant defending and flip-flopping. It is hard to keep up with Trump, I ain't gonna lie. I'm glad that I didn't sign on claiming to be a MAGA, because I have no idea what Trump's gonna do from day to day. It's like I can't get comfortable and think and assume that he's gonna slow down anytime soon. He got a lot of shit on this list to do, apparently, and he's not taking no shortcuts, and he's not slowing down, not a little bit. It's only been a couple of months this new year, and he's already went through a couple of presidents. Lord have mercy, this shit is crazy. I feel like we're a part of a movie. It's like an ongoing movie, and nobody know what's gonna happen next. It's crazy. McDonald says, but that's why America allowed everyone one big melting pot with everybody's religion being practiced in one united group together, but separately. But I don't think, McDonald, honestly, that's going to work out. Because one or the other wants to dominate. Christianity wants to be on top. Muslim wants to be on top. They can't coexist together. One has to have the most influence or the other. And I just kind of believe that it should be Christian, because I'm from here. I'm used to Christianity. I'm not used to Islamic faith. I don't want Sharia law. I don't want the influence of how they treat their women in other countries to come and affect me as a woman. So I really want, I don't mind that they do their faith. I just wish they would do it in their own little mosque, and leave the general areas alone as it was. Like, nobody else is infringing on anybody else's space and personal time and peace. And Muslims think it's good to go and infringe on people's peace and time. And that's just not cool what they're doing. You said, listen to some of the crazy stuff Brother Dick Gregory used to say. The chickens have come home to roost. Yeah, you ain't never lied. You said Trump wins, Abraham Accord, and Libby's can't acknowledge Trump wins, okay? He died too, so that makes 3 dead. Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, they said 2, and then they said 3, so maybe they included him as later. You're right. Cops took him out in 57 seconds. What? So he came here before 9/11. It said that he's been here since 2001 was 9/11. Yeah, he was here just a year before 2001. Thank you for being here, for your favorite nurse. Glad to see you. No telling how many got through the southern border. You know what, Texas, Jane? I know it was millions of them, because they were just coming through like it was nothing. McDonald says you didn't like the enslaved people that you had here already and that you had right next door. You decide to import some new slaves, and some of them are going to go off the reservation. I don't know about what you mean about that. Yes, there were enslaved people before. One of them more than likely was an ancestor of mine. I'm not down for slaved labor or slave people of any kind. But people are choosing to come here and accept the role of being a forced or lower level worker because they are not having no opportunities from where they came from. I'm not forcing nobody to come. I'd rather people stay where they're from and fight their own government and make their government do different stuff, something other than coming over here and wrecking our economy and wrecking our resources. That's my opinion. But I understand if you're desperate, maybe I would be different if I was in the same shoes of these other people are in. But I'm down for us having our sovereignty most of all because I'm from here. And I think that every country has a right to be sovereign, and every country should not allow other countries to dictate to them whatever. But saying that and having Trump as president is a contradiction. I know there's no control forces over Trump. As y'all know, he went to war without the approval of the Congress. And I'm sure the Democrats are strategizing, trying to figure out how they can get Trump impeached or something because of him going to war without getting their approval. There's a lot of stuff going on that I'm not fully aware of what the hell's about to happen next. I'm really telling y'all the truth. I wish I had the answers, but it is just a whole lot of confusion right now going on. And I don't got the answers. If y'all got the answers, let me know. All right. Texas Jane laughing at me, Lord. Jim, how you doing? You said there are an estimated 7 million slaves in Africa today. Wow, 7 million. Where are they at? Texas says, yes, ma'am. McDonald says, when did God say that was man's responsibility to stop religion? I mean, it's not his responsibility to stop religion, but you cannot have religion kind of clash with the culture and the people of the place that we are at. I just don't want, people coming here that have nothing to do with the building of America and the history of America and the culture of America and come and force feed a whole nother ideology and religion that I'm not accustomed to and forcing me to do something that I don't want to do. Or putting death threats out in the atmosphere and all these other crazy things that happen over there in the Middle East. I don't want to have nothing to do with what they doing over there. Like, keep that shit over there in Saudi Arabia, Iran, wherever it may be. I don't care. Let me go back up. What does God have to do with stopping the abuse of children? What does God have to do with stopping the abuse of children? I mean, sometimes God allows suffering to happen. Some of the stuff he allows is because of the karma behind what the parents have done. And he kind of lets it play out. And then sometimes he stops the suffering of people because he doesn't want them to suffer no more. I don't know where people are at in the scope of what God sees them as, because I'm not God. I'm just letting you know what I've experienced and what I witnessed. Sometimes he's on the side of correcting so that you do not suffer no more. And sometimes he allows the suffering to endure because what your parents or grandparents have done, and it's kind of like falling on you to suffer behind what they did. Unfortunately, that's the way I see how God moves sometimes. Every president did what Trump did. Is that right, Jim? It's not a U.S. war, Texas Jane says. Michael Lee says, you don't know what you're talking about. There is no confusion. What are you? It is some confusion. Do you know what he's going to do next month? Michael Lee, can you guarantee next month he's not going to attack another country or snatch up another president or shut down another economy? Can you guarantee you know what Trump's about to do? No, you cannot. So it is confusion. And it is uncertainty because you don't know the madness of Trump's brain and what he has in store to do. Give me a break. In Africa, duh, Jim says. Jim says that sounds like a personal problem and we will still deserve our reparations for taking our land here. I know that's right. We definitely are deserving of reparations. Do I really feel like we're going to get it in this day and time? I'm not quite sure that's possible, Jimbo. I'm not holding my breath. In other words, I'm not holding my breath. You know, I have faith and I believe God will do what God does, but I'm not going to like put everything in a basket of thinking that I'm going to get reparations and everything's going to be all right and my whole life's going to transform in one moment in time and all the things that's going wrong, bad right now is going to all go away. I'm not on that level of thinking. Albert Perry's DNA is older than the pyramids. We never left our land. We are the American Indians. I know definitely in my spirit, I'll tell you the truth, Jim Bo. I really feel that we are indigenous American blacks. I feel like I never went nowhere else. I really feel that if I am intermingled with somebody from Africa, it's just one ancestor. I feel like I have the bulk of ancestry here on this land of America. That's what I feel. And like I say, I'm going to stand true to the notion that I am American first. And all these other identities that people are trying to attach to us, I'm not riding with that. I'm not allowing nobody to dictate to me who I'm going to be, especially if you're from some other place. You can't come up over here in America and tell me what the fuck I'm going to call myself or what I'm going to, be because you showed up. No, it don't work out like that. And it's going to be a continual battle. Black Americans are definitely the most sought out people to change by all the other melanated people around the world. Everybody has everything to gain for us to believe that we're just mere Africans lost. They can gain a whole lot with us believing that lie. And it's my goal to wake up my people and let them know we're not African. That is a demotion, and that is not you as a collective. We are a multi-race people who happen to be in America more than most people that have come to America, and people would like to unseat us. People would like to reverse what we have been and make us more of an immigrant like them. That's what they desire. If they can make you believe that you are an immigrant like they are, then they can be in the driver's seat and you could be the damn dummy. And that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to wake y'all up, shake y'all up out of the slumber that you may be in, to understand that there's a whole host of people trying to destiny swap us out of our status and out of our identity and out of our belief system of believing that we belong here in America. And they're trying to take our place. If you allow that to happen, that's on you. But that's not what I am desiring to have happen. J.D. Tux laughs about reparations. Why are you laughing? When it comes to all the other people that have received monies and reparation, did you laugh then, JD? Jimbo says Siberian Huskies powwows are over here in Albuquerque as of 2026. Our treaties are also over cosplay in the Black Indigenous American Old Jerusalem. That's a whole host of stuff you just said. Do you have a page, Jimbo Hoffa? You said over 55,000 patents, Black woman goddess to the moon. All right. And if natives are the real Jews, how did they not leave their homeland? And who is Albert Perry? I'm not quite sure. I've heard of that name before. Let me look up Albert Perry. I'm curious now that you mentioned that. Who the hell is Albert Perry? Hold on. Probably somebody that was highly racist. I don't know. Let me see. All right. It says Albert Perry, how an African American's alien DNA pushed back the date of modern humans to 340,000 years. What the hell? I don't know what in the world he's talking about. Let me find something else. This person, After one African man, Albert Perry, passed away, researchers discovered an unusual, distinct Y chromosome. While all humans had previously been traced back to one common ancestor referred to as Adam, DNA technicians traced Perry's lineage to a much earlier time. I don't know what that means. That's something you have to research and really look into, I guess. But thank you for the information. I never heard of him before. It doesn't matter how you feel. 1948, we created the Africans. I don't know about all of that. I'm God first, American second. Okay. Ode. And A Day in Life, 1971, says you have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. You are entitled to anything. You are a free people living in the United States. Girl, please get off the pity party train and do something for yourself. What are you talking about? You just talking out the side of your neck. You don't have no idea what the hell you talking about. Jeff says, didn't we all come from Africa? I don't believe in that, Jeff. I really think in my mind, honestly, that when God created life, he created life everywhere all at once. Like, I don't think and believe that Adam and Eve were created singularly. I think when he created Adam and Eve, at the same time, he created other people that weren't included in the story of Adam and Eve, but they were present in other parts of the world simultaneously when Adam and Eve were created. And when, they went around looking for wives and all these other things, that the offspring of Adam and Eve is because other people were already there with them at the time, and they were able to make other, families, and other peoples were all over the place at the same time. I think it's kind of silly to kind of think that only one set of people were created one time and the whole entire life was coming from them singly by itself. It had to have been other lives and other peoples to intermingle with the offspring of Adam and Eve. And that's what I believe. They don't want us to think like that, though. They want us to be, kind of confused and stuck on the biblical aspect of thinking about Adam and Eve and, the brothers that fought and one was killed and, and other things that branched off from that. I think at the same time, other creations were happening and other peoples were created. And I really feel like just like the Aboriginals in Australia were there and they don't look nothing like they're from Africa. I feel like every other place was touched with their own Aborigine types of people. And I really feel that we come from that lineage as well here in America. Yeah, a few Africans came over here, but not by the millions. No, it was not by the millions. It was thousands of them that came and were reclassified, and they intermingled with the Aboriginals of America. And of course, you have white folks that intermingled, and other races of people eventually came over here too, like the Asian people, and who else? Whatever made it here, Mexican people, whatever. So we are a mixed race people. We have been here longer than most. And a lot of people like to discredit us and make us feel like we're like visitors here in America because they have everything to gain by us staying dumbed down and stupid. And that's not what I believe in. I just really don't. You said there's no proof of what you are saying. Okay, well, I bet you a lot of other people relate to me than you. Jimbo says, Lynch, the song Our Own Land told us we were from Africa. I don't believe in all that. Heredus Lax. I remember Heredus Lax. She has some phenomenal genetics. And she made a whole lot of advancements with medicine because her DNA, you're right, who survived the accidents most of the time, the dummy. You said my people, who you talk about, 1904, yes. Okay, look it up. Don't take my word for it. Nathaniel Ape. I'm not from an ape, though. I don't believe in that. 55,000 patrons in this country that we were able to claim, including the first airplane, Charles Page. Patents, okay. No slaves are left. No one who enslaved are left. Should we pay for the sins of your fathers, grandfathers, and grandfathers? Okay. First car, C.R. Patterson. First bus, C.R. Patterson. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. C.R. Patterson. Yeah, I heard of him before. Their powwows after 40 years are over here in Abercrombie because they're fraudulent. Abercrombie. River Wind says, yes, we are all related as a single species. And we migrated out of Africa. We have the skeletons to demonstrate that. But we had skeletons here in America that did not exactly resemble the skeletons in Africa. I think that they had like bone structure of somebody's face here in America that was not exactly like the one in Africa. And that's okay. It's okay to have different people in another land. Why does everybody trying to force us to be one thing? We're not that. People are trying to take ownership over us collectively here in America. And we don't want that bullshit. Take ownership of yourself over there in Africa. Take ownership of the migrants all over the world. Leave us the hell alone. That's what I say. I'm sick and tired of people trying to trick us into trying to own us. I'm not trying to be owned by none of y'all. Okay, own your own. All right. You said Siberia Huskies haven't built anything. We are the mound builders. We are the pyramid builders. That's why we created mathematics, science, and astrology. Okay. Go try again. Don't attach my name or any foundational person's name to Africa because we created you, Hut people. Oh, Lord. McDowell says that was the key word to what you said. Adam and Eve were the only ones that had life and other ones were just living. All right. You said you're a historian. Is that right? Yes, I did. They blocked my page because I was telling the truth. Oh, Lord. No, we don't. Stop lying, Pastor. Pork Chop says, Lord. River says on opposite sides of a single river. Thank you. Please look him up. Jimbo says, thank you. Please look him up. Stop attaching the Jesse Jackson renamed us. I'm African American. I never called myself African American. I've only called myself Black American this whole entire time in my whole entire life. You said Jesse Jackson lost his black card because he is responsible for Martin Luther King's demise. That's what I heard. Born in Florida, raised in South Carolina. My ancestor, Albert Perry's DNA is Adam. That means the first Grand Canyon holds all the secrets. That's why there's a no-fly zone. The Native Americans claim they committed genocide against tall, red-headed people. Okay. We're not trying to force anything. We recognize that we are related to each other. People are not separate. We are a single people. We're not a single people, though, River, when you like to believe that, but the world doesn't operate that way. That's an ideology that's fairly new. That's a Pan-African ideology that does not mesh with reality. People don't see themselves as one thing. Go to Africa and ask all of them to see themselves as one thing. Stop skipping all of that to come to Black Americans who is totally mixed to tell us we're one thing. That doesn't fly. We have literally 3 to 4 different races of blood within us. And you come into the most mixed race person to tell us about being one with all these other people, that's not going to fly. I'm sorry. Oh, Jerusalem. All right. You said, yeah, well, I love how y'all want to say it comes together now after you don't kill off all of my ancestors. You're still not getting a check. Whatever. You're still here, I see. And Jim Boy says we're talking about the giants, the redheads. Those are Black Indians. We are the Olmecs, Median, and Inca. And River Wind says, yeah, people don't see themselves as a single group, but we are all one species. We have a culture and language difference, but our genetic differences are tiny. You're not thinking about the spirituality of these people, though. A lot of these people don't share the thought and belief of a living God. There's a lot of people that worship demons, a lot of people that's involved in witchcraft. They are not of God. They don't know God. They're pretty wicked out here. So I'm not going to throw myself to the wind of people being so-called melanated to believe that I'm just like them because they don't share the same spirit as I do. And, it just goes to show that, people are fighting to belong in the identity that I have. Just think about all these illegals, all these aliens. All of them have been here for 10, 20, 30 years. And what are they fighting for most of all right now? They're fighting to share my identity with me. They want to become American while we have these same immigrants that are lying to us about who we are and trying to convince us not to accept being called American. In the same breath, they're trying to fight to become American. Make that make sense. Everything is being revealed in 2026. There's no more hiding. There's nothing that's going to be concealed. People are going to be exposed for who they are. And I'm so glad that these are the times that we're in right now. And it is what it is. You said, fake ass Israel. What? I don't like religion either, to be honest with you. I really am a spiritual person, to be honest. Let me go back up. River says, this infighting is pointless. We're continuing to hurt ourselves. Jimbo says, the only group of people who have had their name changed 1 million times. Yes, we definitely are the only group. That's why I know that we're a special people. We got to be. And kind of weird how you're picking and choosing which comments to read, and you left out the most important one about the Zionists. I didn't see anything about the Zionists. Mr. John is back. I didn't see it at all. Sorry about that if I missed it. And do we reject a person because we disagree, or do we love them? I don't love everybody, River. I love those that are kind of like similar to me. I'm not loving just any old thing. I'm not I'm not that. I'm not that. Jimbo, if you don't know the actual names of the people that killed your family, then you really don't care too much about your family, because if you did, you would have found out who they were. What are you talking about? Mr. John is back to Jimbo. Lord. You said they are really Russians. President of Egypt said the Jews left black and came back white in Russian. Wow. JD Tuck says Al Perry, the researchers committed a statistical error and the DNA is actually traceable to a period that aligns with current models of Homo sapien emergence. Let's talk about 18 million years ago. I don't want to talk about 18 million years ago. Jimbo says, I am a spiritual person, never religious. Okay, 20 million. No, I don't want to talk about that either. You know what? I've been on here a little bit. What I want to do is come back possibly tomorrow or Tuesday. I have another topic to talk about, but I don't want to start a whole another topic. But I want to leave y'all with Trump and what he's doing with Iran. I wanted to get you guys' opinion before I go. Do you think that what he's doing in Iran is a good thing for America, or you think it's wrong? Let me know in the chat before I go. I'm kind of like not sure. I never thought that this would happen. It is kind of a shocker, and I don't know what to believe. I hope that he's doing the right thing. I want to find out who lost their life behind this war, this clash with Iran. And as soon as I get the names of the service men and women who have tragically died, 2 or 3 of them, I will come back and make mention to who they were, because I think it's important for us to name the fallen soldiers who sacrificed themselves. I don't know if there's something the family is on board about or not, but it's something that I'm going to follow up on. You said not good. Jim Bo says he's lying. They just want to disapprove. We already know we never left our land. My grandmother told me we were Indian. I know my father told me we were Cherokee. So I do believe that this is the land that we need to be concerned over most of all. And anyone that's trying to force us to Africa is our enemy, basically. That's what I feel, honestly. And my topic was primarily on Trump. Trump, had a military action in Iran that took out the Iranian leader. He's unalived. And there are people that are celebrating from Iran all over the world. They're happy. Most of them are happy. Not everybody is happy. Not everybody. I would say about 75% of the people seem to be happy. But there are 25% that are not so happy. And there was a Senegalese African guy who was nationalized here in America, decided to take his SUV, his rifle, and whatever else he had with him, and shot out his window at a club in Austin, killing 2. And he also succumbed to being shot, which made him 3. And 14 others were injured. And he had on a shirt that said Allah's property. and another shirt that talked about Iran. So he was feeling some kind of way about this Iranian leader being taken out, and he responded. And like I said, there might be other sleeper cells that are among us that want to retaliate and act out. So I would hope that you guys would be very, very vigilant and very cautious with going to places that are full of people. Right now, that's probably not the best thing to do. Right now, it's probably best that you stay home with your family, stay clear out of the way, and pay attention to what's around you, because we have way too many people that's unvetted, that's here among us, that would like to make a statement against Trump and what he's done. So don't let yourself and your family be partaking in the festivities or being caught up and being slain for others to make a statement to Trump. Okay? Just stay out the way. Okay? Just don't do it. What's up, Ebony Chainsaw? Yes, that's what I say. It's not worth risking your family and your life when people are out here desperate and they're out here trying to make statements. What I fear the most, y'all, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I'm not so much worried about a singular lone gunman to come and attack. What I'm worried about is people synchronizing an attack at the same time in 6 or 7 different places. One in LA, one in Washington, one in Pittsburgh, one in, wherever. Alabama, Mississippi, Memphis, San Francisco, and they synchronize an attack all at once. They have more than enough people that might want to pull something like that off. And I'm trying to tell y'all to be very vigilant of who is around you, who's talking about different slick stuff, or who's very upset about what has transpired behind Iran being bombed. Just pay attention to details and what people say and how they're moving, and just be very careful when you're out and about. That's what I would say. He said Louisiana Purchase, look up Chief Warhorse of Louisiana. I heard of her before. Andrew Jackson, Louisiana Purchase. Okay. And my grandpa got ran over by his home. His truck, we were at a church. What do you mean ran over by his home? How do you get ran over by a home? Was he in a what do you call that? Oh, a trailer home? Is that what you mean? A trailer home that was hooked up to a vehicle? I mean, how else could you mean it? Anyways, I will return. I just wanted to get a little bit out. Okay, he said I meant his plumber's truck. He didn't get ran over by a tree, but no one was hurt. Okay. How me. So thank y'all for being here. I really appreciate everybody for listening. If y'all have not yet, please hit that like and share button, and I shall return. If not tomorrow, I'll try to make another way back Tuesday. And what I want to do is talk about other things pertaining to whatever is going on with Iran. If I find out who else were the names that were given that were unalive behind this war, I want to talk about. And of course, I have other topics to bring up. I don't want to be on here too long because it's kind of late. It's a little bit after 10, but I will be back in a couple of days if not. Okay? Thank y'all for being here. Like, share, subscribe, and bless up.